have become increasingly fascinated by people who have preceded them, with whom they can identify in any number of ways. But the very term, queer history, is a misnomer. There is no unified, cohesive, universal queer history, but instead a series of sometimes overlapping, sometimes not overlapping, queer histories. There are very few concrete connections to be made between male sexualized mentorship relationships in ancient Greece, the Hijra of India, 19th century women in American social reform movements who loved other women, the activists of the gay liberation movement, and people today who identify as genderqueer or non-binary. Each of these histories, which span the globe and the centuries, is unique. All are important, and all deserve to be examined in their singularity and their historical richness. Gregory D. Smithers, Reclaiming Two Spirits, Sexuality, Spiritual Renewal and Sovereignty in Native America, presents us with a complex, layered, and deeply researched portrait of Two-Spirit people, traditions, and cultures. It is a book that expands our understanding of the breadth and depth of Two-Spirit experiences. Smithers' research covers 500 years of Indigenous peoples' history in America. It is the most comprehensive study of this material published to date. While the term Two-Spirit is a contemporary coinage and usage derived from the Northern Algonquin word Nij Manitowoc, denoting the coexistence of feminine and masculine qualities in a single person, the cultural, religious, and spiritual legacy it embodies is centuries old. Smithers charts the historical legacies of how European invasions, social prejudices, government policy, and native resistance have shaped cultural understandings of Two-Spirit cultures. More important, he traces how Native people have kept these traditions and identities alive and have reclaimed them, ensuring that they move into the future. Reclaiming Two Spirits is not simply a history or a reclamation of legacies that have been forgotten, but the charting of a celebratory reawakening in a contemporary age of an identity. Drawing on a wide range of traditional historical texts, Indigenous oral histories, tribal accounts, historical memory, and contemporary interviews with Two-Spirit people, the book brings into focus a living history and legacy that is a central and vibrant aspect of Native culture today. Reclaiming Two Spirits explores complex issues of cultural sovereignty not only in how it relates to wider issues of legal and political freedoms, but in how it expands our ideas about gender and sexuality. For readers who know aspects of this legacy, and for those who are new to it, Smithers' book will be a revelation. Michael Bronski. A note about language. How we think, talk, and write about indigeneity, gender, and sexuality changes over time. Today's nomenclature, applied to the past, can alter history's meaning in ways that make little sense to the people who made that history possible. With this in mind, throughout this book I've tried to hew as closely as possible to language that reflects usage during the time periods described. For example, I don't use the term queer or add the Q to LGBT until the late 1980s, when activists began inverting the word's pejorative connotation. Readers may find the presence of other terms strange, awkward, or even offensive. Read through the lens of contemporary culture, they are. But understanding the past is not the same as agreeing with it, politically or at any other level. In the pages that follow, the term Two-Spirit does, at face value, the work of an English-language noun. It divides people into groups or arbitrary categories. The goal of this work is explicitly decolonial, to reveal how Indigenous people associate dynamic sets of meanings to words that allow them to actively build on the traditions of their ancestors and create new knowledge for the future. In this sense, I am expanding on the work of the Cherokee scholar Joshua Nelson, in that I use Two-Spirit in ways that emphasize action, doing, and becoming, and highlight the selective ways in which Two-Spirit people use terms like gay, lesbian, or transgender. I historicize the term Two-Spirit to account for chronological, cultural, and tribal dynamism. Events and people from the past are referred to in the past tense. Analyses of the contemporary world are narrated in the present tense. When appropriate, I use